only on Elevation5280sports.com. This is The Grind with Myron McLaughlin.
They're going to get our whole team's best, and that starts with me. They're going to get my best this week, and we're going to go out there and we're going to kick their ass. Then we're going to kick their ass.
Now, Myron is on.
We ready. We ready.
Welcome everybody. Another beautiful day here in the Mile High City. Another beautiful hump day. That means you get me, Myron McLaughlin, coming through your speakers, whether you be in the car, at home, at work. Doesn't matter, at the gym. Put it on Elevation 5280 Sports. Click on Listen Now. Put on The Grind, and here you go. Here I am. What a week for sports here in the Denver City. The Denver Broncos went into Arizona, turned that into a home game. That looked even worse than what we do to that soccer stadium in Los Angeles nowadays. San Diego, now they're over there, being the Chargers in LA. The Denver Nuggets started off the season 4-0. Didn't even give up a 100-point game until late last night, until they played the Kings, and most of those points were in garbage time. That game was well in hand. Since I last left you, the Avalanche have not lost. So basically, you got the Nuggets 4-0, the Avalanche 3-0, and the Broncos 1-0 since we last talked. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 8-0 for your Denver Mile High sports teams here in the last 7 days, and that is just simply amazing. That's what we've been waiting for. It's what we've been looking for. It's what we needed, to be honest. Summer's ending, starting to drag into the cold, depressing months of winter here, and watch everybody play like that is just simply amazing. Now, I don't know if you all caught it or not, but that Von Miller episode where he said he's going to go in there and he's going to literally kick the pants, he used other words there, but kick the pants off of Arizona, and man, did he deliver. Von Miller used to kind of looked at as like, really great player, class clown type of guy, likes to goof around, likes to make people laugh, likes to be the center of attention. Step last week when he wasn't messing around anymore. He came out and flat out said, we need to play better, and that starts with me. And we're going to go out there, and they're going to get our best, and we're going to kick their butt. And quite simply, that's what they did. That was an embarrassing game for the Arizona Cardinals, and a game the Denver Broncos needed as a confidence booster. I can't explain this enough, that team was playing so unmotivated and so unprepared and without confidence leading up to that game that it was quite depressing to watch, quite simply. What they did to Arizona was just, it's a one-man butt-kicking show out there, and it was Von Miller. He had 2 forced fumbles, or 2 strip sacks. He actually had 3, but they called it incomplete on 1. Denver had 6s. Todd Davis and Chris Harris Jr. with the high five on the way into the end zone. That's something we've been waiting for this team to do for the last 3 years, was go out there and take somebody and just be woodshed and well on them like we used to do with our defenses back in 2015 and when Peyton was the quarterback around in 2013, 2014 with that high-flying video game-like number offense that we ran here. I don't know if it was enough to keep VJ's job after the year's over, let the rest of the year finish out. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be enough. And it's the Arizona Cardinals, to be completely honest with you. It's not like they were out there playing some, competitive football team. And it is the NFL, though. I'll give them that. The NFL, it's very hard to win any game in the NFL, no matter who you're playing. But that was simply amazing. And then, of course, the news that broke yesterday, Chad Kelly. It sounds like he went to a party at the Gothic or Ogden or something that Von Miller was hosting. Everybody was supposed to have wristbands. If you had a wristband on, you were allowed to leave, but you weren't allowed to drink. And if you didn't have a wristband on, you weren't allowed to leave without somebody else driving you. The reports say that Chad Kelly broke into someone's home, was sitting on a couch next to a lady holding a baby. and speaking incoherently and did not leave the house until allegedly reports say that he was hit over the head with a vacuum tube. I don't mean to laugh. It's not a funny thing. It's a very serious thing. This lady is holding a baby in her own home late at night when a strange man that's well built like Chad Kelly is, because he's an NFL quarterback, walks in and starts speaking nonsense. That's a frightening thing. And the reports are saying that he didn't have a drop of alcohol in him. He blew a .00 or an 0.0 or whatever the deal is on that. So what's the real story behind this? And it sounds like John Elway is pissed. And I can't blame him. The team's not playing well, say for Arizona. And then you have your backup quarterback, who's supposed to have high hopes, who the entire town wants to see starting. I don't know if you all heard what the crowd sounded like when he took that knee for Case at the end of the half a couple weeks ago, but that crowd was insanely loud for Chad Kelly. And now he's out there with his past record and what happened last night. I don't know what you do there. I hear everybody saying he needs to be cut, he needs to be released. That's understandable. I get that. This goes above more than a football thing, though. This is a person thing. This is a human thing. Now, whether Chad Kelly's taking prescription drugs, sleep aids, he was drugged himself, maybe he didn't even take anything, it doesn't matter. It's a very serious problem, and it's a very serious thing that happened. And regardless of football or whatever, I hope that Denver, John Elway, do the right thing by Chad Kelly. Now, that doesn't mean he needs to keep his job or stay employed or anything like that, but get the man some help. If he needs help, get him some help. This is a person thing. This goes way above football. And he's being help him investigate it and find out who's drugging him to figure out what's going on. Lots of young men in the NFL can ruin their lives very, very easily. It's so easy to. You're in the spotlight. You have all the money in the world. Women want you. I mean, it's a very easy way to ruin your life in the NFL if you're not very careful. And so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen from the fallout of this. I just hope that everything's okay as a person with Chad Kelly, and that things get resolved very quickly, and that the dude can go on and just live his life, whether that be with the Denver Broncos or some other form of life or another team in the NFL. Prayers are with Chad Kelly through this time, and I hope he figures it out. I don't know entirely what's going on, but not a good situation at all. Anyway, moving on, let's go ahead and visit some of the predictions that we made last week. I predicted the Broncos would go into Arizona and take down the Cardinals 21-17. They went to Arizona, they took down the Cardinals, but it wasn't 21-17. It was 45-10. I think it was 21, 3 with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, to be honest with you. And then if you want to go ahead and revisit the World Series, or not the World Series, but the AL and NLCS, I had Houston beating Boston. I also had Milwaukee beating LA. Obviously, I was wrong in both of those. I'm going to go ahead and take the L on that. So that's going to leave me 1-2 for last week. I'm not sure if we're keeping track here. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll probably dive into some more things later on in the year, kind of branch out as the show gets going more and more. Do a pick'em segment or something like that. And then we'll just make it fun. But anyway, back to the predictions. I honestly did not see LA coming out and beating Milwaukee. Milwaukee has had just a tremendous bullpen. I mean, half their staff this year in the postseason is the bullpen. But, I mean, kudos to LA for sticking it out. They went 7 games. They struggled, and they ended up finally getting it and getting back to the World Series after losing it in 7 last year. And now we have an LA and Boston World Series. Now it's, to me, it's kind of bittersweet, or at least a little funny. I don't know why I said bittersweet, but it's a little funny to me. It's picking a winner of the World Series between Boston and LA. Well, who's not gonna blow it, or who's gonna blow it first? Is it gonna be David Price, or is it gonna be Clayton Kershaw? Because they both struggle mightily in October. I don't know what it is, man. April through September, these guys can be Superman, but as soon as they hit October, they're not very good. David Price got his first postseason win earlier this year out of 12 starts. Clayton Kershaw finally had a decent game in the NLCS. So it'll be interesting what goes on. I think Boston, just because of the home field advantage, is going to end up taking it in 6. I think LA wins 1 in LA, and then goes back home to Boston. And I'll take this a step, not home to Boston, but goes back to Boston and gets a W before eventually losing the series. Put it out there that Boston's going to win the first 2 games. I mean, I'm not really much of a bold prediction there, as Boston ended up winning last night 8-4, but I think we'll go 2-0, head back to LA, come back up 3-1, and then 3-2, and then they'll win it in 6. Andrew Benintendi, or however you say his name, that guy, first lefty in the regular and the postseason that was able to string together 3 hits against Clayton Kershaw. And I saw a stat somewhere last night where the first player in World Series history to make his World Series debut to get, it was like 4 hits, including an extra base hit or something like that. I mean, kudos to him. He's huge hero in the ALCS with that diving catch with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th against Houston. That was insanely huge. So kudos to him. Look at all the young guys doing it. Rafael Devers, he's doing it for Boston. Something like he had in his first 7 postseason starts this year. He's had 7 RBI. He's had at least an RBI in 7 straight games in the postseason. That's amazing. I mean, October is where legends are born and heroes are made. All right, that's going to do it for the first segment here of the Grind on Elevation 5280 Sports. My name is Myron. We will come right back to you after a few quick breaks. We'll go ahead and talk Nuggets, what they did to Golden State. We'll also go ahead and revisit some Broncos news, see what's going on there, and then we will head into more action. So, thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back in, everybody. This is Elevation 5280 Sports. This is The Grind, and my name is Myron McLaughlin, and thank you all you beautiful folks wherever you are, whether you're at home, the office, in the car, doing the running around, at the park with the kids, being a stay-at-home dad, whatever the case may be. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget, this Saturday, October 27th from 6 at 1780 South Buckley Road in Aurora, Colorado, at Walk-Off Sports. There's a customer appreciation barbecue. There's going to be food. There's going to be fun. There's going to be prize giveaways from Marici and from the store itself. There's going to be me and Michael Spillin, a host on this station, that are going to be down there recording live, broadcast live from there, and just having a good old time. So come down, meet us, meet Joe and Imbriani, bring the kids, have fun, eat some food, hang out, stock up for next baseball season, next sports season, or even just refill your ammo for now. Just come on down, have fun. It'll be a blast. Can't wait to meet you all, and excited for that. Now, more exciting news is your Denver Nuggets are 4-0. Denver, how do you feel about that? 4-0, including a huge, and I can't say it again, a huge win over the Golden State Warriors on the second night of a back-to-back at home. I mean, just that win alone, as early as it came in the year and the way it came, simply amazing. It's going to do wonders for this team. Could do nothing but good for them. I mean, it's going to build confidence, nothing but up from here. And to hang with that team and to actually beat them is amazing. And to beat them the way they did, they had a lead, and Golden State came back, tied the game. Denver wrestled it back away from them and ended up hanging on with a huge defensive play from everybody's favorite, Juan Gomez, or Hernan, I don't know his name, Juancho Gomez Garcia, Juancho Gomez. Huge block there. I mean, it's exciting, folks. This team is now going to play with their hair on fire like they already have, and I can't wait to see what the results of it are going to be. I already told you guys the Denver Nuggets were going to finish 3 to 5 games better than the LA Lakers after the first week of the season or so. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking they're going to finish way ahead of LA. Denver has a chance to become, the 4th or 5th seed in the Western Conference playoffs this year, and maybe even win a first round game first round and move on. I mean, that would just be a huge step in itself. I'm excited for it. You all should be excited for it. Um, the things I saw from this team, just the fight and the pure competitive nature, they're not going to give up. They're not going to go away, and they're just going to go for it all together. You got Jokic taking the next step, becoming from basically a star to a superstar this year. Just, I mean, he's playing like a man. To be honest with you, he ain't taking it from nobody. He's out there and he's going for it. And to be honest with you, want to hear the crazy thing? Nuggets and the Pelicans are the only two, and the Pelicans are the only two unbeaten teams remaining in the West. That's awesome. That is great. I'm not saying they're going to go out and go 82-0. I'm not saying they're going to go 79-3. I'm not saying any of that, but do I see them winning 50 games? 55? No. Maybe that. I see them winning 50. I think they can realistically win 50. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. That'll put you pretty high up in the playoffs. Our Avalanche are doing the same thing. I mean, both these teams that are playing at the Pepsi Center that Stan Kroenke owns are on fire around. I absolutely love every bit of it. I never was a huge Mike Malone fan. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't deny the results. He's gotten this team to play. He got this team to play hard last year. And looks like they're taking the next step forward this year. As we said before on this show, last year the Nuggets were there. They were so there, but there was about 4 games on the calendar you could circle where they should have won. There was a Suns game in there and things like that where they realistically should have won, and they dropped, and they ended up having to try and play in game 82 to get into playoffs, and it didn't work out as they were in Minnesota. So in order to get into the playoffs, they needed to take that next step and beat the teams they need to beat, and they are doing that. And they are doing that handedly. They gave up their first 100-point game last night to the Sacramento Kings. But to be honest, that game was over by the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter was basically garbage time. And I don't even know if you can really count that. I mean, it counts, but it's exciting, folks. I'm excited about this Denver Nuggets team. Will Barton, unfortunately, looks like he got hurt. Something to do with his hip. He'll be sidelined. I think it's about 6 weeks, so that's a huge blow. But the mixture of veterans and young guys on this team, and the talent, the young talent on this team, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Michael Jr. when healthy, and if he's able to give us some serious minutes and be anything what he was in college, it's going to be, I mean, this team's going places, and the only place is up. And I don't know where their ceiling's at, but I'm excited to find out. And it's great. It's what this city needs. You got the Rockies making the playoffs, the Broncos stumbling a little bit, the Avalanche are a young and up-and-coming team, and the Nuggets are a young and up-and-coming team, and it's exciting here. There is hope in my city, and even the Broncos gave us a little bit of hope last week with that victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Now we'll get into that later on in the show, but I wouldn't get too attached to that. They got to go and play Kansas City in their remaining schedule. Not exactly the easiest one, so we'll break that down later. But, I mean, the Denver Nuggets, man, I'm excited about it. You should be. And another thing to be excited about is your Colorado Avalanche. Like I said, another young and up-and-coming team. Did you see what they have done since I last left you? They weren't getting shots on goal. They were giving up leads. And now look at them. They're 6-1-2. Gabriel Landeskog has got eight goals in those 9 games. 4 assists. He's got 12 points. I mean, the man is playing with his hair on fire. The team's playing strong, quick, and hard, and aggressive. And it shows in the standings. I mean, he's playing two-way hockey. It's just simply amazing to watch these two teams take the steps forward that they need to do. And it's great, to be honest. It's exciting. It's fun. It's great. Fans in the Denver area, all over Colorado, fans of the Nuggets and the Avalanche in the world, you get ready and get excited because these two teams are doing something that's going to be absolutely special to watch, and we should be excited. We should be very, very excited. Things are happening here in the city, and it's great. I love this time of year. You got all the sports going on, and it's even better when your teams are playing well and they're winning. It's just quite simply great. Anyways, it's exciting. Both these teams are taking the next step forward, and I can't wait to see what's to come in the future with these two teams. Young, fast, strong, athletic, talented, hungry, aggressive. I mean, it's going to be great. Buckle up, man. It's going to be awesome. Another thing that was awesome is what Denver did to Arizona. Another thing that wasn't awesome is what Kansas City did to Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati's not a bad team this year. They've been playing pretty well. I'm not expecting them to win a playoff game. They haven't been playing that well. I mean, Marvin Lewis still is the head coach, so I ain't expecting anything crazy to happen there. Let's not get carried away with ourselves. But Patrick Mahomes straight put it on Cincinnati Thursday night. Just straight whooped them. And that was scary. It's scary to watch. I was talking with a couple buddies about it over the weekend. They said, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, it's fun to watch, and I'm excited he's in our division, and I can't wait to play him. My jaw hit the floor. I mean, can't wait to play every year, twice a year for the next 10 years. You guys going to kick our face in every game unless something crazy happens. I mean, it's not easy to tell when a young guy has young talented quarterback has it or if he doesn't have it this early in his career, but I'm gonna be honest here. Patrick Mahomes has got it. He's got everything. If you just watch that game on Thursday Night Football and listen to the sound of it, I wish you could just mute the broadcasters. That'd be great. And just listen to the sound of the game. You can hear him. He runs up there. He does his checks. He sees the field. He scans it well, and he controls that team. He's a young kid, but he controls it like an adult, and that's something that the Broncos have been missing for the last 3 years or so, ever since they won the Super Bowl and Peyton rode off into the sunset on his white stallion with all his Bud Light behind him. Denver's been missing the adult in the room. They got rid of TJ Ward and Aqib Talib. There's 2 more. He's gone, so now the Denver Broncos are struggling to find their leadership identity. I think Von Miller realizes he needs to be that leader and took the next step. Would love for Emmanuel Sanders to be that guy as well. He wants to, but he's, again, too much of a showboat for me. He did redeem himself in my eyes. He redeemed himself in my eyes this week, and he had a game for the ages, and I'm excited about it. But yeah, so Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, coming up 11 o'clock Mountain Time, Sunday morning in Kansas City at Arrowhead. Denver coming off that huge win where they're full of confidence. Kansas City coming off that huge win where they're full of confidence, and they have Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback. It's going to be interesting what happens. We'll break it down. We'll get into what Denver needs to do to stop Kansas City and what they can do to actually put some points on the board against that tough team, and they might walk out of Arrowhead with a victory. We'll see. We'll break it down and get into that. But I have a little bit of hope for that game, to be honest with you. They played them tough last time, and of course that was a home game in Denver, and if Case Keenum hits DT on that route, I mean, all he has to do is drop it in the bucket there and the game's over. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be an exciting matchup to watch these two teams go at it, and I'm excited for it. We'll break that all down. And plus, I think we're going to go ahead and jump up and detail predictions. I think we're going to go ahead and predict some games this week. We'll see if we can't turn that into a thing, see if you can't beat me. Maybe we'll get like a pick'em thing going on or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, everything kind of comes together on its own time with this show, and we're very excited about it. But again, thank you so much for sticking in. The first half of the show was in the books. This is The Grind. This is Elevation for 280 Sports. We'll be back on the other side of the hump on your hump day. Thanks. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. We're on the back half of the hump here on the hump day. This is The Grind. This is Elevation for 280 Sports. I am Myron McLaughlin, and you are beautiful. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium, Sunday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. That itself sounds daunting. Y'all remember, even in our glory years, every time we went to KC and had to play that 11 o'clock game, man, it was always a struggle. I liked when we played primetime in Kansas City. I could deal with primetime Kansas City. I hate when we play at 11 o'clock in the morning. It is the most irritating thing ever. We do not play well at that time, and I don't understand why. But the way this team played Kansas City the first time at home, and the way that they came out and walked all over Arizona, let's just hide the fact that Kansas City did the same thing to a completely way better team than the Broncos did. But man, if they come out and they can actually, if they get up on Kansas City, they might be able to pull this off. You got to jump out. You got to jump out to a quick 7-0 lead, though. I mean, you really have to. Whether you're on defense and you got to force them to go 3 and out their first drive, or at least stop them from, and then go down there and you got to score a touchdown on your first drive. If you don't score a touchdown on the first drive, I don't think it's going to work out very well for us. And I know that sounds crazy to think about, to say, but the way Kansas City plays and as much points as they score and how fast that high-flying offense is, if we don't get up on them, we may not have a shot by the end of the first half. I mean, Kansas City's a very, very dangerous team, and Denver proved they can be too. Now, 14 of those points came from the pick six, came from the pick sixes from the defense in the first half. I mean, and that was simply amazing in itself. But if you want to beat Kansas City, what do you have to do? If you break it down, Kansas City, they have Kareem Hunt back, and our run defense isn't very good. Just plain and simple, it isn't very good. In fact, it's not great. It's horrible, to be honest with you. After watching the Jets, what the Jets and the Rams did to us in 2 straight weeks, I was like, oh my goodness. Now they came out and stuffed the Cardinals' the run game last week. I mean, they stuffed everything to do with the Cardinals, but I'm going to throw that game completely out because the Cardinals are not a good football team. I'll take a little bit of it with us. Some of the good, some of the bad ended this week, but most of that game you can scrap, and I'm not looking forward towards any sort of sign to come with this team. Kansas City, like I said, has Kareem Hunt. And he has the ability to be a home run threat every time he touches the ball, so they can gash Denver's defense in a hurry. Run it up the gut, sweeps, and they start establishing the run on us early, and we got to protect that. Plus Mahomes running, plus the start of Mahomes doing the option or whatever he's going to do. I mean, we could be in for a long, long day. You got that run down. On the flip side of that, Kansas City's run defense is also not very good either. Philip Lindsay and Freeman, I was on the injured list this week. I think he should be for the game. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Hopefully he gets back in time. But with Philip Lindsay and everything, Denver's got to be able to establish the running game quick and early as well. They got to, give it to Philip Lindsay and let him pound it. Case Keenum is actually a really good quarterback when he throws 30 passes. You make him sling it 25 times, 28 times. But don't let him, we don't need to be throwing it 45 times all over the yard. So that's why I say we need to get up on Kansas City. If you get up on Kansas City and you can run the ball and establish that, there's a really good chance Denver can walk away with a W. I mean, that's part of the success. Now, if you think about it on the flip side, when Kansas City drops back to pass, you watch what happened when Cincinnati last week tried to do the mush rush. Keep him in the pocket, make him think, and try and beat us. Beat them. He tore him up. Patrick Mahomes straight up lit up the Cincinnati Bengals with that mush rush. I don't think Denver can do that. For one, they have way better talent, I think, on the defense line than the Bengals do. Now, the Bengals do have some very good players over there. But I think, if you can get Von Miller coming off the edge and Bradley Chubb's finally starting to come into his own, he had another good game. If you can start getting those guys going, DeMonico Petco, he's starting to play again. Todd Davis, Brandon Martin. So if you can get these guys going, then there's a very good chance. I mean, and you got to do exactly what you did to Tom Brady and to Cam Newton in both the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. Is you got to hit him, you got to hit him hard, and you got to hit him often. You're gonna need to make him second guess everything he does in that pocket in order to have a chance. Because to be honest with you, Patrick Mahomes not only has the athletic ability, he has the quarterback IQ as well. You just listen to the game from Thursday with him calling out all the audibles and things like that, and where he goes with the football. Patrick Mahomes is a very, very smart quarterback, and he's a very, very athletic quarterback, and if he gets outside that pocket and breaks containment, he's going to run. So you got to keep him contained, and you got to hit him hard and often, and I think Denver can actually can actually walk away with a W in Arrowhead, which would be huge. Now, if Denver walks away with a W in Arrowhead, that would be so huge that there would, I mean, I don't know if I can describe the totality of that, what it would do for us for the rest of the season. Yeah, that puts you at 4-4 through 8 games, and you've beaten one of the best teams in your division and in the AFC altogether with one young quarterbacks. So I think if you can get those things done, there's a good chance you can do it. Now our receivers are better than theirs. I mean, granted they have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, so they do have us on the tight ends. But with Demaryius Thomas, Sutton, Emmanuel Sanders, who by the way I'm still gonna praise him. Wait for it. Our receiving core is better. Now our quarterback should be smarter, but Patrick Mahomes is showing he's right up there. So I'm gonna give that one a push, just because Patrick Mahomes is still so young. But I mean, Case Keenum, he can do it. You just got to keep him under 30 passing attempts a game. He's not meant to sling it all over the yard. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens Sunday morning. And Emmanuel Sanders, I ripped him pretty hard on my show last week. I'm calling him selfish, a me kind of guy. He's very talented. I do see that he does have a little bit of a selfish streak attached to him. I'm not going to shy away from that comment. I do stand by what I said. And he did cost us some valuable points against the Rams. But last week, man, that guy played awesome. Threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders had it going on last week, and nothing can make me happier than to see him do that and able to help bring the young guys along. So what do you do at this point if you're the Denver Broncos? You're 3-4. And you got a tough Kansas City team coming up. Now, if you beat Kansas City, like I said before, so you're on a whole new plane. If you lose, what do you do now? I mean, you're still 3-5 if you lose. That's not terrible. You're still better than the Raiders. Congratulations. You're still better than the Browns, who, by the way, have taken a step forward this year. Those guys have played in so many OT games this year is ridiculous. And they're so close. They are on the brink, and I'm actually rooting for the little guys. Like, come on. Not Oakland. Oakland could suck forever, and I don't really care. So anyway, looking forward with Chad Kelly's troubles. I mean, who knows what really happened there? Is he doing drugs? Is he not doing drugs? Is he weird? Is he not weird? I mean, he has had his troubles in the past. He did get drunk and tell a bouncer he was going to go grab an AK-47. He did hop the fence at a high school football game to fight a bunch of high schoolers to protect his little brother. I mean, Chad Kelly has done some weird things, and this just is on the list of more weird stuff that he's done. But it's also a scary and sad situation as well, like I said earlier in the show. I'm not going to go back into it, and I'm not going to rehash it. But looking forward, Denver, if you can pull out this W, man, that's going to be so huge. You have 4-4, and we're looking pretty. At least with hope. Not pretty, but with hope. And so that's going to lead me to my Denver Broncos bold prediction for this week. And Broncos at the Chiefs, 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Patrick Mahomes is playing like a man with his hair on fire. I'm going to say the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's actually going to be a very good game. It's going to come down to wires just like last time. I think Denver holds them under 30 points again, which is another huge W. But I think Denver is going to end up walking away with the W in this one. I think Denver Broncos lose 27-17 to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think with being at home, with the way Mahomes is playing, with our run defense the way it is, Kareem Hunt, I think Kansas City just has too many weapons for Denver to be able to stop and cover all game. Go ahead, boo me all you want, kick circle. You might as well at me because I don't really care. I do think we're going to lose. Sorry to say that. But it'll be a good game. I'm interested to see how it goes. And what I look forward to is I want to see Denver play with the same fight that I see the Nuggets and the Avalanche and the Rockies playing with. It used to be the opposite. You used to watch the Broncos and wish the other three teams were like the Broncos. Now you look at the Broncos and wish they were somewhat like the other three teams. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. I looked up on the ticker rolling across my TV, and I saw something that said Derek Carr denies crying after taking hit. I'm sorry, that kind of distracted me. I will look into that later for the next segment and let you know what that's all about. That's awesome. That makes me happy and laugh, and now it's got my attention, and I'm ready to walk at that. So that's my bold prediction. Kansas City 27, Denver 17. We hold them under 30. I think hold Patrick Mahomes under 300 yards passing, and I think they hit him hard. I don't think they hit him hard enough, though, and the Chiefs walk away winner, winner, chicken dinner. Thanks for listening. We'll come back for the last segment here. This is Myron McLaughlin. This is Elevation280sports.com. This is The Grind. We'll come at you for one last hump in hump day. Thanks. Welcome back in, everybody, to the fourth and final set today on the hump day of today's show. My name is Myron McLaughlin. This is The Grind. This is Elevation280sports.com. And here we are. We made it. We're 3/4 of the way done. We're on the back half now. We're the last 25% of the hump. So let's go and let's just do it. Talk about Broncos, Nuggets taking the next steps in their lives, the Avalanche taking the next steps, the Rockies obviously have took up if they could take another one next year. So it's all about steps and moving on up. And that's what we got to do here. And see, if Denver does that this weekend, then things are going to be looking good. So during the break, I went ahead and looked up and rewinded the TV and saw what I saw, and I posted on my Snapchat. Look me up on Facebook and PM me, and I'll give you all my social media stuff right now. I'm getting the shows taken care of. The Grind page is underway. I'm doing this all on my own, so you got to give me a break. I do have a full-time job and a full-time life outside of here, so give me a break. But anyway, across the TV when I started cracking up last segment. Derek Carr says he loves being a Raider. That's a lie. Nobody loves being a Raider. Nobody even likes being a Raider. Nobody wants to be a Raider. It's awful. It would be horrible to be a Raider. And then he says he denies that he cried after taking a hit in Week 6 loss to Seattle. Liar. You cried. I mean, we can't laugh too hard at him. As Bronco fans, we saw Paxton Lynch cry when he twisted his ankle and realized his career was over. But when you look up and see that thing first thing today, I mean, that's hilarious. That makes me So anyway, moving on, we're going to go ahead and get into our pick-em segment for the week. Look at the games and what's coming up, and we'll break them down. Tonight, just so everybody knows, Avalanche take on the Lightning at home, 7:30. I think it's also their happy hour game. Something to do with tickets and beers, like $45 or something like that. So go on down, check that out. Make sure you watch them. Like I said, 6-1-2 since I last left you last week. They're 3-0. They haven't lost since. Landeskog's still on fire. It's gonna melt the ice. That boy's so hot right now. Tomorrow night, your Nuggets take on the Lakers in LA. First time they play the Lonzo Ball, LeBron James led Lakers. If you remember last year, things got chippy. People dribbling the ball out in between people's legs as time is expiring and things like that. So that's something to watch and see what goes down. And then also Friday you get the Spurs coming home taking on the Avalanche. Saturday is the one we should all be excited for. That's when the Avalanche head to Minnesota and take on the Wild. That game is a 6 o'clock puck drop. That's Saturday night in Minnesota. Avalanche Wild. That's going to be a good game. That's the one to keep your eyes on. I'm excited about that. And let's see what happens there. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. First game that's up tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Dolphins, Texans in Houston. This one's a no-brainer. This one's gonna be a snooze. This one should be Houston all over Miami. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at. I'm not even gonna do a score for these games, to be honest with you. But there you go. All the way from London, 7:30 in the morning on Sunday. You got the Eagles taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's supposed to be a home game for the Jaguars. It's in London, so it's not a home game. That's crap. I hate that the NFL does that they throw this stupid in London. You take a home game away from a team that is in the Jacksonville Jaguars, who actually went to the AFC Championship game last year and were darn close in winning that thing before Tom Brady became Tom Brady. And you take away a home game from them, already struggling. I mean, how much worse can you hurt them? They already have Blake Bortles as a quarterback, and now you're going to make them travel to London to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now, granted, the Eagles aren't the same team as they were last year. Jacksonville seems to be struggling as well. Jacksonville's used to the London thing. They play in London all the time. Everybody thought they were going to move there at one point in time. I'm going to go ahead and take Jacksonville over the Eagles. That's another bold prediction. Go ahead and mark that on the calendar. Jets at the Bears. Two young quarterbacks going at it. Mitch Trubisky looks great for the Bears, who, by the way, almost beat the Patriots. I don't know if you guys saw that last week, but the Hail Mary at the end of the game is caught and tackled at the 1 yard line. Man, that was something. I've never seen that, and it was a lot closer than the one. He almost got in there, and that was an intense game. Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky. I'm going to go ahead and take the Mitch Trubisky-led Bears all over the Jets. Seahawks at the Lions. This is one I can't quite figure out myself. Who are the Lions? Are the Lions good? Are the Seahawks good? I don't know. They're both 3-3. They're both 500 teams. I don't think Seattle's as good as they think they are, and I don't think Detroit's as good as they think they are, but I think they're better than what people give them credit for. Give me Detroit all over Seattle. And then you got Buccaneers, Bengals. Buccaneers are terrible. The Bengals played terrible last week, and they're hungry, and they're upset. They're going to come out. They're going to walk all over the Buccaneers. Browns and Steelers. Now, this one's another good game. Inside the division, Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Only given that Pittsburgh, I'm going to go ahead and take the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Cleveland Browns. Ravens at Panthers. Both teams off to a good start this year. Ravens 4-3, Panthers 4-2. It's going to be a tough game. Last we saw the Ravens blow the game on Justin Tucker missed extra point, which, by the way, was the greatest meme I've ever seen with his eyes as big as they were. Go ahead and give me the Ravens over the Panthers. Redskins, Giants. Redskins are actually leading the division. Giants are horrible. This is a no-brainer. Go ahead and give me the Redskins. Hashtag HTTR. Someone please explain that to me over the Giants. Colts at the Raiders. Raiders fire sale. Everybody's gone. Andrew Luck, Derek Carr, Oakland, Colts. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I hope these two teams tie. I can't figure it out. Packers, Rams, this will be a good game. 3-2-1 Packers go ahead and take on the 7-0 Rams in LA. LA's, that's just a different animal this year. I've never quite seen anything like it. Go ahead and give me LA on the Green Bay Packers. Niners and Cardinals. You thought the Niners were going to be terrible, and you knew the Cardinals were going to be terrible. Niners aren't as bad as you think they are without Garoppolo. All right. With CJ Beathard, you start to kind of figure it out just a little bit, and the Cardinals are so inept that Denver scored 45 on them. Go ahead and give me the Niners all over the Cardinals. Saints and Vikings. Now that's a game that we're all looking forward to. I don't feel like the Vikings are quite the team they were last year. I felt like last year they came out and they just basically hood stomped people and worked their way all the way to the NFC Championship game. So, there's nothing wrong with that. The Vikings are a great team, but I see the Saints with Drew Brees and Sean Payton and now Alvin Kamara, and everybody's starting to click, and here we go. Here comes the Saints. They're coming marching in. Take me, the Saints, all over the Vikings. Monday night, Patriots, Bills in Buffalo. I hope they tie, but New England's going to win. Give me New England all over that. Alright, let's talk a little college football. Last week, CU went down to Washington. Unfortunately, didn't make enough plays. Ended up losing the game. Drops to 5-2 on the year. Still have high hopes for this team. Montez is great. They're taking the next step forward as a program themselves. They got them playing ball again out there in Boulder. So let's, be careful. Watch out. Here we go. They're on a roll. They're going and taking on Oregon State, the Beavs, at CU, from what I understand. 1 o'clock start time. I think CU's going to end up rolling on that one. Montez is looking good. I think the CU bounces back. They're hungry. They're angry. They bounce back at home against Oregon State. Give me CU. Wyoming, CSU. That one's tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow night, sorry. Friday night, 8 p.m. Up in FOCO, I think. I think it's at home for CSU. That's always a good game. If you've never been to one of those games, you should go. Just the environment, the atmosphere of it all, what it means to the states and things like that. I mean, that's a fun time. So if you're looking for something to do Friday night, go to the CSU game. Go check that out. Go check CSU Wyoming. Lots of kids from both states. Lots of kids from Colorado playing on both teams. So it's a good time. Uh, I don't know. I haven't really been following these two teams all year. Give me CSU since they're at home. Now let's get into some college football. We got some good ones coming up this week, folks. The two I'm looking forward to most is going to be number 9 Florida at number 7 Georgia. You got the Gators taking on the Dogs. That's always a fight, no matter what these two teams are ranked at. But right now, it's going to be a dog fight. It's number 9 Florida taking on number 7 Georgia. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. Jake Fromm, the Georgia quarterback. Let's see what he can do. It should be a very, very interesting game. I'm excited to watch that one. It's going to be close. I can't even pick a winner. But since it's at home, it is the SEC. And I'm not really a fan. Anyway, go ahead and give me the Dogs all over Florida. Iowa, Penn State. Now, that's a game that everybody's excited for. That's a good one. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to watch that one. That one's also at 1:30 our time. That's going to be, that's a great game. Happy Valley has a real ruckus and loud atmosphere. Penn State's actually a pretty good team. I like the way things are going for them. I've always been I like Penn State, but the Terry Sandusky thing was, I didn't want to get into it. That was pretty bad. It kind of turned a lot of people off, and I understand why. But it should be a good game. I don't know where to go on that one. Go ahead and give me Penn State in a thriller over Iowa. That's it, guys. We made it all the way through. Hump day here. I can't wait till next week. Next week's Halloween. We'll go forward. If you're going to do anything crazy this weekend, like Halloween parties or anything like that, do not drink and drive. Go ahead. Call an Uber, call a friend, call a taxi, get rid of your keys, do something. Do not drink and drive. You do not want to DUI. You do not want to put somebody at risk, including yourself, while driving down the road in basically a missile designed for a man to get behind. So don't drink, don't drive, call a friend, figure out a way. Have fun and be safe this Halloween. Also, don't forget, Saturday the 27th, come on down, 1780 South Buckley Road, Walk-Off Sports. Join me and Mike Spillin live. We'll be on the radio. Customer appreciation, barbecue food, fun, prizes. Maurici's going to be there, giveaways. Bring the family, bring the wife, bring the dog. Whatever you got to do, make it down there. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Myron McLaughlin. This has been The Grind. This has been your hump day. Enjoy the rest of the day. You're on the back half of the week now. Let it slide, baby, and have a great weekend.